I wasn't sure if I should make this video or not, but in the principles from my heart of truth, I wanted to bring this to you to let you, as always, as I suggest, make your own decision, but also maybe you have some comments. I love hearing from you. I really do. Hearing from your recommendations, what your thoughts are on this. Here it is. I'm just going to try and get into it. Quick brief history. I have been to hair school. When I was there, I did buy, you did not have to do this, but I purchased separately an ingredient book. That's how I got into this whole, if anyone who wonders, why do you look at ingredients that are natural and, who cares? But I figured if I'm going to be selling hair products, I decided to not go into that industry and did it independently for a while. But anyway, the reason why I did learn things, it was great, but basically I bought an ingredient dictionary that explain what the ingredients are, because if I'm going to sell a product, I want to know what it's going to do. Not just how does it affect our body, how clean or toxic it is, because I'll be honest, I know there's some people who don't care about that. I personally do, but for me, I come more from the standpoint of that, but I want to know, what does this ingredient do? Does it actually work, or am I just buying ingredients that are not, marketed? And that's when I first learned about sulfate-free shampoos. This was many years ago when, before they started to slowly become marketed and become more widely used. Now, this I literally just learned right now, and I'm a little disturbed by it. I'm surprised it took me this long to find out, but not really, because really a lot of the companies, I'm going to link a video down below. I really want you to watch it. No, usually I just kind of go, let you make your own decision, but I strongly suggest you do. Basically, it shows a guy who is a chemist who has worked for many major made products, including hair conditioner, shampoo, and gel for companies such as Paul Mitchell, etc. I've learned that if you have a sulfate-free shampoo and you think it's, it's sulfate-free, you're doing yourself good. May not be as much of a change as you think. Sodium cocoa sulfate is the main ingredient used. Another ingredient is called sodium cocoa methyl taurate. There are some other ingredients as well that are very similar. Sodium cocoa sulfate is actually a blend of sodium lauryl sulfate, sodium caprylic sulfate, sodium capric sulfate, sodium oleic sulfate, sodium stearoyl sulfate, etc. Instead of naming them out with all the fatty acids, they just call it sodium cocoa sulfate. I did some digging, found they also have the same, this is a kind of chemical thing called CAS number of 151-21-3. Anyone who's a chemist out there, maybe you can lend a hand with information. They've said, I'm no chemist, but I've understood that if the number is the same, the chemical is the same. Why are the cosmetic companies lying and trying to mislead us with sodium cocoa sulfate? Is it because of the bad rap that SLS has? Or am I missing something? The difference is really, and they responded, the difference is really one of purification. The difference between sodium lauryl sulfate and sodium cocoa sulfate is no greater than the difference between purified water and unpurified water, like hard water, etc. In terms of how it works in the hair, sodium cocoa sulfate is just a highly diluted form of sodium lauryl sulfate. I've now been researching for the last couple hours on shampoos, and wow, you really should look at the links down below. The main video I suggest you watch, it's in 8 parts, mainly 6, the first 6 parts is ones to watch if you're interested at all about how hair care products are made. There's a lot I'm going to cover. I'm going to just get to it. This I found very interesting. A German man named Heckel needed a detergent. This is before in the 50s. Needed a detergent to be soap because people were greasy. How do I make a product? You know what he invented? Sodium lauryl sulfate. He invented it. Since 1950, the variation on the sulfate would work with any grease, again, any dirt, whatever you have in your hair. They didn't just use it on dirt. They used it in tanks. They used it on soldiers. So, people he's talking to in the video, the guy who is the chemist, talks about people who are hairstylists, who are going to be. And basically, when you're rinsing the client, he says soap and rinse. That's really all you need to do. So the detergent part of it, and the hair will be clean. If you want to scrub, where they scrub your hair in the salon, and that has nothing to do with making your hair clean. Again, all detergents have bubble bath in it. You don't call it bubble bath, but it's usually the third ingredient is a foam enhancer. Basically, it does not make you clean. I'm sorry if I'm repeating this, but it does not make you clean. It does nothing for your hair. Again, this is someone who has gone to cosmetology school as well with hair. Does the client think you're doing something? You bet they do. Oh my god, look at the bubbles, it's cleaning. Yeah, my hair is so clean, it feels clean. The first question they ask when companies would come and he made the product is how much lather bubbles do you want in the bottle. Everyone has different opinions of what they believe makes them feel good, and they hope to sell you. What they hope to sell you. Okay, here's something really important people need to hear. I know some know this, but hair is dead. You're getting the stuff off the hair. You know, people think the shampoo will make you look beautiful, and where's the lie in that? Marketing. There's no scientific book, okay, on frizz. You cannot heal split ends. The hair shaft is dead. If you want to heal it, you need to cut it off. Seriously, cut it off. The source of damaging hair, I blow dry my hair sometimes, I'll admit it, is heat and flat irons. Now I purposely wait till my hair is more damp almost, and then blow dry it, so I don't use it as much as possible. For those who don't know, I thought this was interesting. 400 degrees is when most hair dryers and hair hot tools are used to heat the hair. If you know those popcorn makers that make popcorn without adding any oil, the like air poppers, interestingly enough, what makes the kernel turn into a popcorn is they're at 400 degrees. So think, what is that doing to your hair? People are going to do what they want to the hair anyway, but if you want to make your hair a little healthier, there's a little tip, is cut down on the straightening of the hair, which I know is really in right now. Anyway, low bubbles is a good thing. They use that in the salon. The retail is opposite. People feel that if there's more bubbles, they get a better value. Now extracts, I've mentioned this in a past video with the lotion, is someone, I made a laugh, just talked about the berries, and you know, the damn berry extract, or the little ylang-ylang extract in shampoo, who cares? And the guy who, again, this is a man who makes these products, has been making them for years and years and years for many companies, saying that it's not doing anything. It doesn't do anything at all. If you look at Paul Mitchell, he's the example of how much things cost, and people will pay money. And this is where you have to look at the lies and get rid of the programming. Paul Mitchell versus Finesse. You want to know what the marketing cost is? It cost $1.78 a gallon to make their shampoos. Paul Mitchell made it for 18 years. And yeah, so then another guy who went to a company, if I hope I'm saying this right, Bokeh Labs. Made his brand generic Paul Mitchell, which says generic. Paul Mitchell is cruelty free from my understanding. And yeah, so if you want the same Paul Mitchell, you don't want to pay the price, you might want to try Sally's generic brand, because it's the exact same formulation, the exact same ingredients. Just a little tip there for you. I don't use Paul Mitchell. Some natural shampoos and conditioners, I always stay away from them. And he admitted this. I was like, thank God someone's saying this. Silicones come from sand. They're usually syrupy or in a spray. What they're used for is shine. They can be very drying and pull moisture out of the hair. They are also used in shining cars and in shining countertops. It is just doing shine. All it does is it makes your hair a little more shiny. If that's what you want, go ahead, but I don't suggest silicones, dimethiconol. Now, interesting is, again, marketing. If you want to look at how to sort of look at this, I found this extremely interesting. Clairol used to make hair dye. This is when they first came out, it was 78 cents a bottle. But L'Oreal came and they charged like double that, $1.81, I think you said, a bottle. No one was buying L'Oreal. What did they do? Sybil Shepherd, I don't know if people remember who that is. She was in that TV show Moonlighting. They had her in an ad. L'Oreal came to the US and they had her, and they said, you know, L'Oreal hair dye, it costs a little more, but I'm worth it. And people eat it up with a spoon still today. You may not support L'Oreal because you're cruelty free, but that little marketing thing, people think I'm going to spend more money, but it's worth it because it's a different thing. But really, you need to look at the ingredients. So to sum it up, shampoo is supposed to just remove dirt. That's all it's supposed to do. Adding things to it doesn't help it to remove dirt. It actually does the opposite. If it's a conditioning shampoo, I actually would strongly suggest that you don't find that as a product to use, because what he mentioned is, and it made sense to me, shampoo is supposed to get rid of dirt, but the shampoo doesn't know that that's dirt because it's a conditioning thing that's not supposed to be in there. So the shampoo doesn't know that that's not, thinks that it's dirt, and is also trying to get rid of the other ingredients they have in the bottle. Wow, a lot of information. So I'm going to do some more research and try and find even more brands. I'm going to have to do a lot of research, really dig deep into the ingredients. I'm open to hearing your ideas, and I'm going to hopefully update you with some recommendations of what I found for shampoos and go from there. So stay tuned, and hopefully I'll be back soon. I want to make sure I have the best information for you. It's for you to make your own decision and get rid of the marketing lies. We can wake up together, and we're doing it every day. Love you. Bye.